So the first thing we want to go in detail is our chef's hat. Under the chef's hat we find our 3 cooking methods. The first one is steam. The second one is combi steam, a combination between dry air and pure steam. And number 3 is convection air, just dry air. Easy to select with one fingertip. In each cooking method, of course you can adjust the temperature, the time, and you can work with core temperature probe, yes and no. How to adjust the temperature? You just have to tap the thermometer, a new window pops up, and you can easily adjust the temperature to your needs. Same for the time. You have hours, minutes, or seconds. Or if you want to let the unit run infinity, you can tap over here and then the unit is running until you press the stop button. When you want to work instead of time, if you have a delicate item, what you, in this example for steam, you want to poach, then you can also choose the core temperature probe, and then you can say, all right, I need 48 degrees, for example, inside my fish fillet. At the moment the temperature is reached inside the core, the unit would stop and give you an acoustic signal. You can also, depends on what type of products you want to do, adjust the fan speed. So default is always level 2, and you can go even higher to level 3, what is the maximum, and if you have a delicate item, you can also go to level 1, what is the lowest fan speed. So the same, of course, you can do in combi steam. In combi steam you see you have an additional icon, what you didn't saw before. When we go back to steam, it's an empty one. Here in combi steam you have also HP, it's Humidity Pro. It's always as default in auto. That's our personal recommendation. Here we ensured we have the perfect humid environment inside the cavity. But if you feel the need to say, I need a little bit less or more, then you can just tap on HP and you see the auto actually disappears, and then it's also adjustable in 3 levels. If you confirm it now 4 times, you're back in auto. When we go to convection air, you see the HP changed to CNT. It's called crisp and tasty. In convection air normally we are doing roasting, grilling and frying, and here we need a dry environment. And especially when we have a higher quantity inside the cavity, then we produce out of the natural water content of the products steam. And this steam we want to get out of the system in the shortest possible time, and here we just select also in 3 levels crisp and tasty, and we create in seconds a dry environment what helps us to brown and crisp up the product really fast. In convection air also, when we tap the plus icon, what we see here, we have a feature what is especially important for baking goods. So let's say we want to do croissants as an example, then I would say I choose a cavity temperature of 165 degrees, and of course I would like to work with time, 18 minutes, and I want to add seconds, 18 minutes, and I want to add seconds, 18.5 minutes. I can adjust the fan speed, and I don't want crisp and tasty yet at all. So with our Bake Pro feature, what we find under the plus, also adjustable in 3 levels, we are actually adding a step before our profile what we just set it up with 165 degrees. So what happens now is, at the moment I press start, I can load in my products, my croissants, but instead of going straight in with convection air for 18.5 minutes, the unit is doing now Bake Pro. That means we are injecting water inside the cavity to make a really wet environment. After that, the fan inside, what normally helps us to dispense the hot air inside the cavity, stops so that the steam can actually set and sit on the product, and depends on your Bake Pro level. If it's level 1 or level 3, the timing of injection and resting phase is different, and after this Bake Pro period, then your baking profile actually starts. And the beauty here is, with Bake Pro, we don't need to defrost our pre-proofed baking goods, just straight from the freezer inside, and they will come out just perfectly, what allows you to make more baking in per hour. So everything is set it up, in this case for croissants, and now the only thing what I have to do is press start. Right now you don't see a thermometer in here, because right now the cavity temperature is right. If, just to show you that, if the cavity temperature is not right, let's increase this quickly. You see a thermometer here with an arrow up. That means when we press start, the unit is not starting with your cooking profile you just added. The unit is actually now going into preheating to create the right environment for the products you want to do. You can skip this. Our recommendation is to let it run, but again, we are in the manual individual cooking, so it's full flexible. So if you feel the need to skip the preheating, you know what you're doing, then you just have to skip it, and then you get the message ready to load. The only thing you have to do here is open the door, load your product, close the door, and actually the Convotherm Maxx is running. Of course, you can stop the profile. You can also always make adjustments during the cooking process, so you don't have to stop the cooking cycle to do something. You can just tap on the side and you can say, oh no, I need 180 degrees, for example, or you want to adjust the fan speed to a lower fan speed. Everything is possible. You don't have to interrupt the cooking profile. Just full flexible. I will interrupt the cooking profile now because I also want to show you now when the cavity is in the right environment. So we have now 180 degrees, for example, and we're going back to our croissants example. You see there is no thermometer right now, what shows me the unit needs to preheat. I just press start and immediately it shows me ready to load. Load in the croissants, close the door, and now Bake Pro actually starts. So we stop that now, and I would like to show you another great feature in the manually cooking. So during a la carte, during service period, so of course you can do mixed loading, you have different items at the same time in the cavity, but it's quite chaotic in the business environment, so you forget easily something. So let's say we are having from 12 to 2, we have lunch time, so we set up a temperature 170 degrees, and we set now the time to infinity so that the unit is running all the time. We make our fan speed and all the adjustments what we need. We don't want Bake Pro yet, so we deactivate this. And now we just let the unit run. The unit is running, you can see it's running infinity. And now during the a la carte service, one order is coming in, the next order is coming in. I can use now our tray timer. So with the tray timer I can say, all right, the first product needs 5 minutes, for example. So we set up 5 minutes, open the door, load in the product, close the door. 2 minutes later, the next order is coming. Okay, next order is coming. I use tray or rack position number 4. It takes 10 minutes. And so on and so on. So here you have always everything under control. So the Maxx will actually remind you at the moment one of the products is ready, and you always see the product what is coming out next will always show you in a green coloration. If you want to cancel a tray timer, just easily tap the red cross and then the unit is actually running. Still running, but without any tray timer. But with tray timer, it's great for the a la carte service. Everything, you always get a reminder what's going on. You have it also, the tray timer, during cooking in the start screen. You can also add from there your individual timing. So we press stop over here, and you see now we saw the cooking method, we saw the temperature adjustment, the time, the core temperature probe, fan speed, crisp and tasty, in convection air, also under the Plus Bake Pro. Here we have also add manually steam. So also this is a quite interesting feature for baking. So when you say, let's say we are our unit is running and we have now inside some bread, baguettes, homemade fresh dough, and you want to get more volume in, then you can just tap there and add manually steam to the cavity. You immediately hear the unit is injecting water, and it's injecting water as long as you tap there. So you have actually the control how much water you want to add to your dough to get more volume. So it's quite good, it's wet steam, it's intense, and you will see immediately the effect, the condensation on your product, and it helps you to rise the product. So this icon means add manually steam. Perfectly for baking goods as well. The tray timer, we already spoke about it. Thank you very much for your attention. Have great fun with your Macs and see you soon.